Alright guys, I've figured out why some people have trouble starting their loops and have to weapon swap a couple of times before it works, and I will quickly demonstrate it. So I just weapon swap once now, and my loop stops. Now I just swap some skills around. Well, we can actually leave that there. And we swap these two, and suddenly my loop works on the first try. And I can demonstrate this over and over again. I'll just wait until Arcane Surge and leave 4 seconds for Recoup runout. And it works again. And the reasoning behind this is trigger order. So basically, all skills in Path of Exile or all triggers follow a specific order. Your skills will always cast from top left down to bottom right, or on 4 links to bottom left. What that means is, for our build we want to put Forbidden Rite and Anomalous Skeletons as far up in the trigger order as possible, and our costly Freezing Poles or whatever main skills we are using as far down in the order. So now every loop we only cast if we run out of mana, we start with the spells first that cost little mana but that keep up the actual loop and don't waste mana on the high mana cost spells. As you can see, this is the trigger order. This is straight from the wiki. I know the wiki is outdated mostly today, but the mechanics on there are still mostly fine, I think. The trigger order is definitely correct. So if what I just said didn't make sense, this is the order we cast our spells. And there's also a order for our items, but that shouldn't really matter too much. I guess it would be better. Nah, it doesn't really matter since we have our body armor and our main hand anyways, and we can't change that for our 6 links. Now something unrelated to that, I also optimized my DPS a bit. Our tree before looked something like this, and we used 4 flasks. Now I have my tree like this, and as you can see my damage increased from 64 million to 70 million, so that's like, I don't know, 8% more or something like that. And we dropped the Dying Sun. This kind of makes flask sustaining easier and harder at the same time, since we dropped all the nodes down here. Basically this change requires you to have at least one 10% increased flask charge gain on your Balbala jewel, or you will have to swap out the crit gem in here for another cluster jewel with flask charges gained. Or I guess you could fit a 6 passive medium cluster if you have the money for that. Right, basically it's just some tree optimization, and the Dying Sun wasn't all that useful because if you actually check the Dying Sun, it has 2 additional projectiles, but since we are using survival secrets, and this has 20% reduced effect, we only get 1 projectile since it gets rounded down. Alright, and now something fun. Hall of Grandmasters is really easy for this character. Basically this character speedruns Hall of Grandmasters. a nice trick someone told me. If you put a portal with a custom damage taken gem in your offhand, you basically never have to carry portal scrolls.